I decree and declare that you will live in the Garden of Eden, that your spirit has overpowered the kingdom of darkness, that you will fulfill your destiny and walk in it, that you will help grow and expand your community, that, hey, I win when you win. Let's win together. Shout glory. Good afternoon, my father's children. Come on in. So glad to see all of you that are with us on the Community of Wellness platform. I don't know why. I don't know why Instagram just stopped like that right in the middle of the video, but sorry. So come on in, people, from the north, the south, the east, and the west. We don't own the copyrights to none of this music that we are being played. That is being played, rather. So, like, yeah, that's weird that it did that, but I ain't about to let it distract me. We got something good going on this afternoon. There you go. Put it up for Teaching Tuesdays. We believe in the people are coming in. We thank God for all of you that are here, that are coming on. Hit that like button, that share button if you are on Facebook, to help someone else know that Community of Wellness is on live. We had a great topic we about to be talking about on tonight. So you don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. If you made it this far, that's a good thing. Okay, Mother Sanders is saying good evening. Sorry about the delay. As you can see, we seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties, but we're not about to allow that to get in the way. Maybe there's a delay on the comments because I see people are on, but talk back to me now. Don't be ghosting me out there. You know what I'm saying? Talk back to me. Maybe it just froze up on my screen. Good to see you. There they coming in. There they coming in. There they coming in. Yes, good evening, woman of God, Sister Latanya Thomas. Glad to have you. Welcome to Community of Wellness. Good to see you, Mother Turner. God bless you on today. Good to see you, Brother Philip Bagley. Yeah. I don't know why Instagram tripping. So Minister Harvey, I see you over there. Mother Hobbs, good evening. But that is so crazy, y'all. Y'all having a good day? Y'all know, let me know how you're doing. I always ask. This is our midweek push. So let me know how you're doing. If you're doing good, say you're doing good. If you're doing okay, you're doing okay. If you're feeling great, you're feeling great. I'm feeling great. I told you this is the month of celebration. 4 years of apostolic deliverance, 4 years of apostolic plowing, 2 years of successful pastoral ministry. Yes, Mother Hobbs feeling great. Mother Sanders says she's feeling good. She's feeling good too. Minister Turnbow, good evening. Yeah, I'm not about to let that. Mother Phyllis is on here. We praying for you, Mother, and for you and the family. That service of memory is going to be on Saturday for her beloved son. So that's going to be on Saturday morning. So we want to keep praying for the House family as they go and lay their beloved brother and son to rest. Sorry that I will not be able to be at that service because that's the same time that we are doing what we're doing for community wellness. But we are sending our love, and we hopefully pray that we'll be able to connect with you all later on, and even over on Sunday when we get together and do some things too. Uh, that's the big day. Sunday is the big day. That's the internal celebration day. So I'm not going to belabor this any longer. Sanders feeling great. Turner feeling great. Harvey doing good. Um, and so we're gonna be okay with that. So there we go. Thank God. He's always a prayer answering God. So I got a few things I want to share with you all before we get into our topic on tonight. My job here, our thing is what? Good evening. Good to see you, brother Charles. Thank you for being consistent, man. I really do appreciate that. Means a lot to me going into my second year of pastoral ministry. So, one of the jobs that we do here at Community Wellness that we just not all about, just preaching and prophesying and teaching, but the vision of Community Wellness is that I deal with the whole man, that I deal with things that are keeping sickness in our bodies, that is killing our family, that is attacking us as a neighborhood, as a community. And so we here at Community Wellness, we deal with our physical health, we deal with our mental health, we deal with your spiritual health, your mental awareness, your social justice. So tonight we're going to deal with your physical health. And physical health is not only just going to the gym, but it's also where it starts at in the kitchen, where it starts at the grocery store. So tonight we're going to teach you about sugar and how sugar is killing you, how sugar is keeping you diabetic. That's what it is, brother Charles. It's holistic. We deal with the whole man here. So don't be alarmed. Don't be afraid to learn something new as we talk about corn syrup and high fructose corn syrup that's in a lot of the foods that we eat. A lot of the foods that you eat, you're surprised. I was surprised that corn syrup was even in ketchup. And think about how we all been groomed to love ketchup, and they put it right there in the ketchup bottle, man, and Heinz and the Kroger brand, whatever type you do. It ain't good for you. I just can't lie to you. It just ain't good for you, my sister. It just ain't good for you, bro. It just isn't. So so hang on. We're gonna bring that, but I got to go back and I want to just make sure that everybody on Saturday, I'm not gonna teach it again, but I just want to go through the list because I found out there were three other ones I was missing on the list from my message on Saturday about a stranger in the house. You all that are part of the text group, Impact Network, you should have received these already in your phone. So make sure you read them, make sure you ponder on them, reflect on them. But we said 15 signs that you're being bewitched and that you have a stranger, an evil spirit operating around in your house. One is that your sickness cannot be diagnosed. Two, you feel like you're being watched or monitored. You see stuff with a very quick shadow and it's not there anymore. You just feel like you're constantly being rejected for no reason. Everywhere you're being rejected on your job and your family. You're being rejected by your kids, just whomever. Even in your entrepreneurship, if you feel like you're constantly being rejected, like you ain't getting a contract, you're getting turned down. 4, you were brilliant at school and now you're not. 5, excess drinking of alcohol. I mean, we talked about that, and that's one that's dear to my heart. As celebrating 4 years of sobriety, 4 years of being delivered from addiction and anger and depression. I tell you, God moved in and did a sweep on your boy. So we celebrating 4 years of that. That allowed community wellness to birth. God gave me a vision for my pain. he'll do the same thing for you if you allow him to heal you all the way. Number 6, you feel like you have a bad odor, you keep washing. It's not that you're not washing yourself, but it's still something that is kind of like a stench around you. You dream of eating and drinking in your dreams, and then you wake up with stomach pains and irritated stomach or IBS syndrome. Number 8, you feel lonely and lost, even though you're around people all the time. Like you got people around you, you got people that you hang out, but you still feel like no one sees you, no one feels you, no one understands you. Why do you feel like that? If you're always around people, especially even if you're in a marriage, you should not feel lonely if you're married. That's another topic for another day. But number 9 is that you hate everyone that tries to bring happiness to your life. Uh, when people come in, they new, they fresh, they don't know you, but it's like you sabotage even making new relationships, even new friendships, or you don't even feel like you deserve new friendships. And when people try to get connected to you, you just shy away and you never know how to interact or develop new friendships. I heard something earlier today, what I always say it was true, is that you got to be okay with making new friends in life. Yeah, your life is always supposed to be evolving and constantly making new friends, because that's how you grow, and seasons are up for certain people, and we keep people around that shouldn't be kept. You're right. So let's go. Number 10, once you're involved in things don't work out. It's like you got this like curse over your life. But like when you come on the project team, or when you become a part of the organization, or when you join the team, it's like the quality of the work goes down, the volume and the production goes down. It's like you just kind of come and like unknowingly you sometimes bring a spirit of chaos without you even knowing that you brought a spirit of chaos. And you don't always seem to fit because you just don't fit. It's not that you don't want to fit in, it's like you just don't fit in. Number 11, you have unexplainable miscarriages, lack of the fruit of the womb. Everybody, your life should have some fruit that that you're good, fruit of your testimony, fruit of you being able to stand the test of time. Number 12, extreme forgetfulness. 13, you hear voices but you don't know the sources. And I'm talking about like voices. I'm not talking about when the devil is talking to you. I'm talking about like you in a room by yourself and like you just know you heard a conversation. I'm talking about those type of voices. Voices that you may be hearing in your subconscious that the devil may be trying to tell you. We know the source of those voices. So you just have to rebuke the devil and let him know that, shut up talking to me. Yes, you have that power and that authority. 14, nothing good ever works for you. You know what I'm saying? It's like you keep trying to get ahead, but you keep going around in circles. You never can make good progress. You always feel like your life is a place of stagnation. Good evening, Sister Abigail. Good to see you. Been missing you. But I think you've been on Minister Holt's phone in the previous times. So a devourer, number 15, a devourer. It's like this. As soon as you get it, you lose it. It's like as soon as you get a come up, as soon as you work overtime, it's like before you know it, here come a bill. Here comes something breaking down. Here go the refrigerator. Here go the stove. It's like anytime you get a come up, like, you about to get your W-2 and your taxes, like you got goals for it. But now something already claiming that money before you even get it. Yeah, that is not how your life should be in God. God wants you to know who you are. And he said that I will rebuke the devourer so that you won't have all of these spiraling, these things happening one after another, one after another, one after another. You hear what I'm saying? So that was the 15 signs. And right quick, I wanted to tell you, because someone asked me, I told you, I thought someone had a question. So thank God for the brave soldier that raised their hand. And so they said, can you kind of give us some tools? And I apologize that I didn't do it in this fashion, but hey, I'm here to learn and grow as you all are as well. So number 1 is that if you had any of those 15 signs that we had up, I wish I could put them both on the screen at the same time, but I can't. But if you have any of those 15 signs that I talked about, the ways that you can start to tear down that affiliation in your life, number 1 is going a 7-day fast. Because remember, this is coming from the book of Jacob, as he had to deal with Rachel and Leah. and he had to work another 7 years. So I believe God will honor if you go on a 7-day fast to break that soul tie of unwanted spirits, unwanted things that are harboring around you or near you. Two, you want to make sure you're always repentant of your sins. If you know you're constantly living in sin, you want to make sure you're repentant, because an unrepentant heart gives Satan covenant and agreement to act on to act ignorant in your life. Let's just say what it is. Number three, get rid of unforgiveness. If you know that you have unforgiveness in your heart, this brings unwarranted warfare. This keeps your prayers from being answered. This keeps you from operating in deliverance. So yes, and you need to be able to even have unforgiveness for yourself. A lot of times, the biggest thing that we don't do is that we don't forgive ourselves. We hold this constitution over our head that we should not hold, instead of having the constitution of grace and mercy. You want to give yourself grace and mercy too, and not the constitution of evil or being angry or mad at yourself. We all make mistakes. Eat it up, move on from it. Number six is you want to denounce and renounce the spirit of rebellion and rejection. Sometimes you can open up doors because you're constantly doing opposite of what God told you to do. We're living at a time now that spiritual sensitivity is on high alert. Satan is more crafty. He's more cunning now. So we got to be aware of the things that God is telling us to do. And we don't want to be slowful. When God shows you to do something, you need to cut something off, do it. I'm going to raise my hand, because if you wait, it's going to open you up for more attacks. It's going to send you down a road that you don't want to go down. And I've been down that road. So if I can save you from being hard-headed like me, that when God says to do X, make sure you don't go back and do A, but do X, and make sure you keep X like he said. Number eight, number seven, become a disciplined follower of Christ. Number eight, give mercy, sow mercy. Yes, sometimes you have to give mercy to people. And as you give mercy, then you allow mercy to come back to you. Number nine, take authority over fear. Sometimes the things that you're witnessing, depending on where you're at spiritually in your spiritual walk, this is for the people that operate in me. It's like you got to use your authority and command that thing to die. You know what I'm saying? Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So you have to take authority over fear, because the word says God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of love and of a sound mind and something else. My mind is drawn blank. Number 10, worship the Lord in your house. You got to make your house a sanctuary. You got to make your house a tabernacle. Yes, you got to allow your house to be a place that the covenant of the Lord, the ark of the covenant, is established, that, the holies of holies is there. And a lot of times we wait till we get to the sanctuary to fellowship with God. But you have to make your house a place of worship, where you pay rent, where you pay mortgage at, that house that I'm talking about. Number 10, 11. Open your front door. A sound mind. Thank you, man of God. Number 10 is number 11. Open your front door and command the evil spirit to leave. This is a prophetic activation. This is you telling, this like when you want somebody in your house that when you want someone to leave your house. We ain't opened up the door before. We ain't been like that before. I'm laughing because I know I ain't opened up my door. Back in my 20s, for a lot of people, I sure did. I held that door wide open for them and say, "Oh, you can leave now. Yeah, you can take your stuff and exit." Yeah, and don't play with them. People like, "Are you playing?" No, I'm not playing. Like, no, leave my house, get out. Yeah, you gotta tell the devil too, get out. In the name of Jesus, in the authority of Christ, I command you to leave. And anything else that came with you. You understand? Because sometimes you don't know, people come in your house with ill will, and they can leave an evil spirit in your house. Yeah. Number 12. If you feel like God, again, you got to be able to discern the season you're in. If you feel like you're in the season of spiritual warfare, anoint yourself and go to war. You hear what I'm saying? Because God has trained, the Bible says that God has trained your hands for war. I'm going to teach that on Saturday about what that means. And the last part, number 13, is that you can always pray in the spirit and build up your inner man. So that way these things are no longer being a pest to you. You hear what I'm saying? That's all. These things like to be a pest. I've experienced them. That's why I was able to teach about this. And I'm at a place now that I'm just using my authority, walking in my apostolic grace, and using every prophetic tool. Sister Renee, good to see you. That God has given me. Okay. If you're on Facebook, hit that share for me. We got some good information that I don't want people to miss out on. If you just hit that share and come right on back and let somebody else know. Y'all know they had that outage. They had that outage for the people today. Now I'm gonna tell you something. This is holistic teaching. If you felt lost, LOST, if you felt lost today because you did not have Facebook or Instagram and your blood pressure got up and you got irritated or annoyed, you need to take a break from Facebook and Instagram. You two attached. I'm just gonna keep it real for you. I ain't got time to lie to y'all right now. I'm in the season of truth. Yeah, if you did, you need to go get a whole intervention. And I'm serious. Yeah, you too into the matrix already. You too far in. I had so much peace that I ain't have nothing to check. I ain't have to read nobody else's opinions and narratives. Oh my God, it blessed me. It did. I took it as a blessing. But I want to let you know that these type of things are probably going to become the norm because it was I see this as a military exercise. I teach y'all about PSYOPs, PSYOP. And people say that these platforms are more government controlled than what they would like us to know. And they do the military exercises to get you all flustered up and emotional because they want to be able to prepare outage and have to do put more layers on stuff. You know what I'm saying? I see on LinkedIn now, they want you to verify you are who you are on LinkedIn. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, it's social media, y'all. It just goes back to show you that there's still a real world out there that we got to live in, and you got to be okay with it. And everything ain't all that it appears to be online. You hear what I'm saying? So, does anybody have any questions? We're gonna bring on our teacher for tonight, Minister Holt. She has been asked to come before us, and I think I got something else in a couple of weeks for somebody else, another health topic. But oh yeah, I remember that one. I ain't gonna announce that one. Ooh, yeah, you gotta be there for that one too. Yeah, we coming down y'all street. You hear what I'm saying? But let me be quiet and let's bring on our guest teacher.
Good evening, Pastor. Good evening, the community of wellness. Good evening. It
Good evening.
seems like I haven't been on here with my family in forever. And I'm just so thankful to be able to be on here with you all tonight and to talk to you all and to teach you all tonight about the disadvantages of corn syrup. So, what I'm going to talk about tonight, I'm going to talk about corn syrup and I'm going to talk about high fructose corn syrup. I'm going to touch on 5 important things that you need to know about high fructose corn syrup. I'm going to touch on what is unhealthy about high fructose corn syrup. I'm going to touch on what it does to your stomach. I'm going to touch on what's the negative effects. I'm going to touch on what food has those uh, high fructose corn syrups. And I'm also going to talk about the long term effects of high fructose corn syrup. Okay, first, I want to begin by saying, what is high fructose corn syrup? Like, what do you consider high fructose corn syrup to be? Okay, I'm going to give you the definition of what high fructose corn syrup is. High fructose corn syrup is it is composed of fructose and glucose and has similar sweetness to table sugar. It is used to sweeten processed foods and soft drinks, mainly in, listen to this, the United States. Did
Go
you hear
ahead.
that?
Go. Mm.
Mainly in the United States. And I've always asked myself when I've known and if I've seen of growing up here in the United States, and when you visit different countries, that I rarely see obese people. I rarely see obese people when I travel to different countries. So keep in mind, it says that these sweetened processed foods are mainly found in
Mm.
the United States. And high fructose syrup is an added sugar that is put into different foods and different products that we consume every day. And we don't even realize that we are consuming these products every day and that they're not good for us and they're not healthy for us and they're not good for our stomachs. And we don't know. High fructose syrup, it promotes obesity that I just talked about. It increases the risk of type 2 diabetes. It contributes to liver damage. It affects heart health and linked to increased belly fat.
Mm.
So, some of you who have problems and you think that you gained a lot of weight in your belly, a lot of that may be linked to high fructose corn syrup. Okay.
Jeez.
Yes. And what it does to your stomach, we're going to touch on what high fructose corn syrup does to your stomach. It interrupts your gastrological intestines. And it also can be promoted or could be suggested that it has problems with where you have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome. It has also been contributed to having given obesities, which is high risk of reflux disease. So if you have been having problems with reflux in your stomach, has been happening and you've been having to go to the doctors and you have been put on reflux medicine or you have been put on medicine that stops you from feeling queasy in your stomach, it could mean that you are intaking high amounts of fructose corn syrup in your diet every day that you don't realize. I'm also before I end this teaching and I get through all the steps, I'm also going to give you a list of foods. I found over 50 common foods that we either eat or consume every day that we do not realize that we are consuming high fructose corn syrup. Um, with high fructose corn syrups, you may have experienced some type of stomach discomfort. It also interrupts your small intestines where you have to break down your food, where you have a problem with breaking down your food. Now your stomach contains probiotics in your stomach that helps you to break down your food and send it through your digestive system in order for the foods that is not good for you to be wasted out. High fructose corn syrup interrupts that, and it interrupts the good probiotics within your stomach that allows you to process food, digest food, and being able to obtain certain foods on your stomach. Because your stomach also has natural acids. I know sometimes if you've gotten sick, and we've all gotten an upset stomach where we threw up every once in a while, whether it's been a childhood, adulthood, and you know that when you continue to throw up, that there's nothing else there, and it's acid coming off your stomach. Because that acid that is sitting on your stomach, it also contributes to breaking down food, being able to digest food, and being able for your food to process through a healthy digestive system. It also does that as well. So that high fructose corn syrup comes into your body and goes into your stomach, and it interrupts those good organs and those good probiotics that we need within our system to help us to digest our food and be able to stomach certain foods. So when you say to yourself sometime, and you done been to the doctor and you say to yourself, oh, yeah, we suffer with reflux. Well, you may only suffer with reflux because of the high fructose that you are consuming. If you say that I suffer with IBS, you may only be suffering with IBS because of the high fructose. So you have to be a little mindful, and you have to do a little research about what we're putting into our bodies each day, because we want to live long, healthy lives. And we want this information to be out here for you to be able to live long, healthy lives. Everybody wants to grow old. And okay, so I've touched on what it does to your stomach. Now I want to touch on the negative effects. Okay, I want to touch on the negative effects. The negative effects also is liver disease. High intake, and this is what it says about liver disease and high intake of the high intake of high fructose corn syrup. It says high intake of fructose corn syrup can overload the liver, leading to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So not only can you get liver disease from alcoholic beverages, but you can also get liver disease from high fructose. It says this condition is characterized by excessive fat buildup in the liver in the absence of significant alcohol consumption. Condition is characterized when you have high intake of high fructose corn syrup. It also affects your heart. It has been high fructose corn syrup has been linked to increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Okay, cardiovascular disease. It can raise harmful cholesterol. So if you're going to the doctor and your doctor is telling you your cholesterol is a bit high, um, I know that you've been changing your diet and the cholesterol is not coming down, then you really need to watch some fruits, different things that you are consuming, which has high fructose, which causes heart health problems. Okay. And it the high fructose, it lowers the protective HDL cholesterol. And when it lowers the protective HDL cholesterol, it contributes to the buildup of plaque around your arteries. And that's what leads to heart disease. So, high fructose corn syrup literally works as a blocker to your arteries that leads to your heart. Well, we all know if the heart isn't pumping correctly, then that leads to heart disease. Okay. So we all about preaching, and we're all about staying healthy and being on the correct path to live healthy lives. And sometimes people say, oh, well, it's generational. This is generational from down, generational from down. Of course it is, because you are eating what your parents have been eating. So of course, when someone says, "Oh, heart disease runs in my family," oh, when someone says reflux, acid reflux runs in my family, Well, yes, it probably does. You consider it to running your family and be hereditary is because the same foods that you are eating are the same foods that your parents ate and introduce you to those foods that now you introduce your family to, and so on and so forth. Now, sometimes when you grow older and you establish a more healthier way to eat, you may eliminate some of those things that you used to eat with your parents or eat with your family in order to do a healthy lifestyle. But generally, as kids and coming up as young teenagers, we tend to eat whatever our parents are giving us. So a lot of these diseases and problems that we have within the family that people contribute to being hereditary, it's only hereditary, maybe sometimes, not all the times, it could be contributed to high fructose corn syrup. Not realizing what you're eating and what you're consuming, yes, has been handed down from generation to generation. Okay. It's been handed down from generation to generation. It also says that high fructose corn syrup has been linked, it may have a potential link to cancer. Now the studies on this is still evolving, but resources suggest that excessive consumption of high fructose corn syrup has been linked to cancer cells, and that they activate high fructose corn syrup activate cancer cells. Okay. So, moderation is your key. Moderation is your key. You have to understand what you're putting in your body and what you're consuming and what foods and different things are made up of when you're intaking foods. Now, I know when I was young and I was growing up, I used to go inside the groceries. Well, when I was young growing up, I wouldn't go inside the grocery store and I wouldn't look at the labels. But as old as I'm getting, I'm starting to look at labels. But just like I mentioned before, it says that, oh, excuse me, high fructose corn syrup can be contributed to belly fat. And I noticed that I'm a lot of these foods that I'm going to tell you later that I consume what I would consider excessive amounts of these foods and excessive amounts of these drinks, to where I notice when my weight do fluctuate and I do go on a diet and I see myself losing weight. When I see myself gaining weight, I see myself gaining weight in my belly. Before I gain weight anywhere else, I would gain weight in my belly. And I didn't know this either. And it was very interesting because Pastor came to me about a topic that he wanted me to teach on. And one of my goals here at the Community of Wellness, that we have goals for our 5 pillars that we teach you all, um, is one of my goals is a healthy living. And one of my goals is to try to incorporate a diet of healthy eating and eating in moderation. I've tried numerous times to cold turkey certain things. And I know that when you have a person of myself of 44 years, that you so used to taking this in that you get those cravings, you get those urges. So again, I'm gonna tell you again, moderation is the key. Moderation is the key. Um, you see now that at the age that I'm becoming now, I'm at the point now where I have to wear eyeglasses. Well, high fructose corn syrup also plays a big part in your seeing.
We can't hear you. Can y'all still see hear her? Something something happened, Minister Hope, that we cannot hear you. Can you all hear me? Can you all hear Pastor E? Okay, you all can hear me, but yeah, for some reason we cannot hear you now, Minister Hope. Just give us a second, okay? Everybody can hear me. Um, and I know you didn't do nothing because she was already uh, uh, you was already talking, so it's like, well, no, okay. So she's gonna try to come back in. Uh, I ain't even gonna say nothing. We just gonna be patient. Um, she was right about to get in right into that good part of telling us. Um, yeah, I saw that Sister Renee when I came on. It's like her mic went off, but we was on here together, so that's never happened before. Um, yeah, right when she's about to give us those 50 things, and that's what made me get on was that when she talked about the eyes and how high fructose corn syrup it affects your eyes and like that triggered me. So if you're struggling with vision and your eyes keep going bad, or if they're telling you that you may be losing sight in your eye, I want you all to listen. And I know we're coming out of places and environments. You know, I'm building this thing with a whole new mindset. I've been living in this way for 40 some odd years, eating this stuff too. So we got to ask God to give us the grace and the capacity to break down these systems that we've been put into. Because, you know, Big Mom and all of them, they ain't have no grocery store. They raised everything, they made everything. And so just be open with an open ear. And I thank you all for being on here tonight. Good to see you, Brother Mike, as well. Let's see.
Okay. Can you hear me now, Pastor?
Perfect. Yes.
Okay. I don't know what happened, but I apologize.
It's
Um,
okay.
okay, I apologize. I don't remember where they left off and said that they couldn't hear me yet. So I
If you
have
could
no.
pick up on where you was on the I'll tell you where I last heard you was when you was talking about how the corn syrup messes with your eyesight.
Okay, okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay. Yes. So I had said that in the beginning. I started off and I said, if you notice with age, that I have. You can't hear me again.
Oh yeah, you good.
Okay, that with age, I am now at the age where I have to wear glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to have a little bit of extra eyes for me. Well, high fructose corn syrup has also been linked to having weak vision. And what it does is it destroys the pockets in the back of the eyes.
Mm.
So again, I will tell you that I will be the first to admit that my consumption of high fructose corn syrup is excessive to me. So now I am at the age that I am, and I'm wondering, all this consumption of what I've been doing, is this contributing to the things that I'm having that is going on now within my life and with the things that are going on now as I get older? Because you have to realize when you're young, your body has a way of repairing itself because everything is fresh. You know, kids are fresh, they heal faster than we do. So as you get older, your body, unless you are active, unless you have a good diet, you slow up the key points in your body that connects everything together and works together to allow you to function on a day-to-day base.
That's
And
true. And
yes,
let me insert one thing there, Minister Hope. So I found this out a couple of years ago, and I want you all to know this, especially you younger crowd that is watching this, like, oh, I'm good. I ain't got to worry about that. But let me tell you something that they don't tell you in health class. That at the age of 40, when you reach the age of 40, all of your organs, everything, they are at a point of full development. So at 40 onward, it's about you maintaining the integrity of all your organs, every cell, every tissue, everything that you got going on in your body. Is after 40 that you really got to work and really my 40 and up, really the people we need to be exercising and being more conscious, more operating in an apostolic consciousness about our diet, because people dying at 40, 50, heart attack, cardiac arrest. You heard her talk about the plaque in your arteries, and high blood pressure is high among my peers and even in the 50, 60 age group. So good job.
Hmm. So we've talked about what's unhealthy about high fructose corn syrup. We've talked about what it does to your stomach. We've talked about the negative effects. So now I want to tell you a few foods that I know that I eat on a daily basis that I had no idea that
Here we
had
go.
fructose corn syrup and high levels of it. Okay.
Mm.
The first thing when your kid is little and have no teeth, what is the first thing that you feed your kids? What would you say, Pastor? Being young, your kids have no teeth. What is usually the first thing that you feed your kids? Applesauce.
Yes. I saw a commercial about that today too.
Applesauce. Applesauce has high fructose corn syrup. Okay. Another one that we eat a lot of, that when we have barbecues and we have family cooks out, baked beans. Baked beans has high fructose corn syrup. And you know they'll tell you, depending on the beans, what's good for you. Well, these are the beans that are not good for you. Another thing is I love, and I know my kids love this too. And like, I promise you, my son, Zach, he swears by the only condiment that he likes is barbecue sauce. But barbecue sauce has high fructose corn syrup. So when you're dipping them in your chicken nuggets and you're putting them on your meats, barbecue sauce has high fructose corn syrup. Cereal has high fructose corn syrup. Bread has high fructose corn syrup.
Hold on, we gotta do a rewind on that. Blue rewind. What? Let's bring us up closer. What food you say got high fructose?
The foods that I said that has high fructose is this is something that's consumed daily. Is applesauce,
Right.
baked beans,
Baked beans.
barbecue sauce,
Yes.
breakfast cereal,
Yes.
and bread.
B&B. We got breakfast cereal and bread, y'all. Breakfast cereal and bread. I told y'all a couple weeks ago that cereal y'all feeding y'all babies, you already damaging their organs. Because again, it's quick and easy, but you lazy. Let's call out the parents. Right. They make the parents lazy because it's more easier to give the baby some cereal and some milk and put them down in front of the TV and say, have your way, versus you going in there scrambling up some eggs and, doing something more healthy for them and cutting it. It takes work and elbow grease to cut up an apple and to cut up fruit for your baby. Like, come on, this is what we gotta do in the community. It takes a village. So we're here to help everybody. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not to condemn anybody, but if you don't know, you don't know. God says my people perish for a lack of knowledge.
Yes.
So a lot of the bread, even when you go into the restaurants, that's why I wanted to stop on that bread and do a rewind, is that when you go into the restaurants, these restaurants are not giving you healthy bread.
No.
They giving you the bread that's the most cheapest, that got all the sugar and everything in it. And then you're probably at a place where they're giving you the French fries too, with the bad white carbs. White carbs are bad for you too.
Yep.
So they just killing you. And McDonald's, they horrible for the high fructose corn syrup. Look at the condiments and you'll see the honey mustard, the barbecue sauce, the sweet and sour, whatever.
Mayonnaise.
Yeah, the mayonnaise, all of this stuff that we put on our food, Minister Hope,
Yes.
is hurting us. So
And
that's
and I
good.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I know y'all are getting ready to gag on this one, but granola and oatmeal.
Granola. I ain't know about
Granola
that one. That was a
and
good one.
oatmeal.
Mm.
I've really been I've loved my topic that you gave me, Pastor.
You did some research, huh?
Yes. And when I say that I'm excessive on these foods, and being excessive on these foods is what
Yes.
causes these problems that I
Yes.
was telling you about. Ice
Wow.
cream,
Ice cream. Hold on, wait.
English
Ice cream got
muffins,
English muffins got corn syrup and ice cream.
high fructose corn syrup.
Ooh,
High fructose corn syrup.
ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes, high fructose. Relish and sweet pickles.
Not relish. Now I didn't know about relish. Ooh,
Relish. Relish. And
ooh.
then another thing, you know how you go to parties and they have a cute little table set up and they have cocktail nuts? They are high in fructose corn syrup.
Mm, mm, mm.
Soup is high in fructose corn syrup.
Yeah.
It is peanut butter.
Ooh, not peanut butter. Not peanut butter. See, we thought peanut butter was good.
And then you know too, this is something that's getting ready to get people, is because a lot of people opt out of eating pork and eating beef, and they turn to turkey. Turkey lunch meat is high in fructose corn syrup.
Bloop, rewind. What was that? What was a part of the animal that was
Turkey lunch meat.
turkey lunch meat, and they told us turkey was healthy for us, but that turkey is processed with high corn syrup. That's why we want it so much. When you go to Subway and you get it at home and you're like, man, I gotta make me a turkey sandwich. We eating turkey sandwich, whole house making turkey sandwiches, and now that thing is full of corn syrup, so everybody there high on sugar don't even know it. We're in there craving sugar.
And you don't even know it. And see,
Don't
these
know
are the things that you don't know, because there are like 50 everyday foods that is listed on this list.
Yeah,
There
yeah, and
are
I'm sure it's more.
50.
Yes,
And there's hundreds of more. But
yes.
these 50 were really important to me because these are foods that I have consumed since I was a little girl. And I'm 44 now. So imagine now when I'm looking at myself and I'm comparing myself and I'm looking at what's going on in my life,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Like, just the macaroni and cheese. There
Mm.
has been a diet for people that goes with chicken or anything, macaroni and cheese, high fructose. Just the everyday living that you can think of that you were brought up on. McDonald's hamburgers, fruit juice. Fruit juice even have high fructose corn syrup. Even fruit juice. Cottage cheese. Now who would think cottage cheese?
Mm.
Coffee creamer has high fructose corn syrup. Those chicken nuggets,
Oh,
and
oh.
listen to this. Chocolate milk.
Mm. Not chocolate milk.
And the biggest of them all. And when I tell you that I am a fan of Coca Cola, I am a fan of Coca Cola. A fan.
A
And
fan.
Coca Cola is at the top of the list.
Wow.
At the top of the list.
At the top of the list.
Yes,
At the
yes.
top of the list.
Top of the list. And now, even if, and I'm gonna tell this before I get to the long-term effects of
Mm-hmm. Keep talking. I'm
high
gonna put this
fructose
up.
corn syrup. People think that eating dry fruits, yes, there go your strawberry jam. Strawberry jam is a big one. People think that eating dried out fruits, are really, really good for you because they're selling dried out fruits now. But dried out fruits are really, really high in fructose corn syrup.
Wow.
And I know, like myself, I've been trying my best to get away from red meats. and I've been trying my best to get away from chicken. Well, I've been eating a lot of shrimp. Did not know if I eat the shrimp, eat it without the cocktail sauce. So eat it without the cocktail sauce because cocktail sauce has high fructose corn syrup in it.
Hmm.
So
And the nugget on the shrimp that I found out that if you have high blood pressure, shrimp is actually not good for you. So it's like, yeah, if you have high blood pressure, shrimp, shrimp, that shrimp, bubble shrimp, yeah, that dude, is not good for you either. So if you have high blood pressure, so I'm just here to educate you. If you wonder why your numbers may be going out of whack, you know, you just gotta know your body. You know what I'm saying?
not only do you have to know your body, Pastor, but like I said before, you have to be educated about what you're putting in your body and what you're
Yes.
consuming, because a lot of these diseases and a lot of these problems that we are going through in life are not linked to being hereditary. They're only linked to being hereditary because you have been giving the recipes and the structure of your home as a kid. So what your parents fed you is what you carry on to eat and what you know to like. So when those different foods and those different things that you were consuming was also contributing to what you thought could be hereditary. So it's a lot. And I'm not saying that everything that's going on with you may not be hereditary. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the things that you have eaten since you was a kid and it has been passed down to you because your parents ate, their parents ate, it could be linked to this high fructose corn syrup. So, we've touched on what is unhealthy about fructose corn syrup. We've touched on what it does to your stomach. We've touched on the negative effects. We touched on what food has it and try to do food in moderation. Now we're getting ready to talk about the long term effects. The long term, you can't hear me again?
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me. So this is the
Okay.
LTE, the long term effect. So I want everybody I know your mouth already probably wide open and we already in jaw dropping on some stuff that you've been eating. I put up that whole candy scroll. That candy scroll, let me put it back up for y'all again. If you ain't know what I was putting it up for, all this candy ain't good for you.
All this candy is not good for you.
Yep. It all
Look
got
at
the
it.
wrong sugar in it.
Yep. And
Yep.
I'm tell you right now, them taffies down there at the bottom is my favorite.
Yeah. And I grew up loving airheads, man. I had every flavor of airheads. I was buying it. But again, we wonder why we had cavities as kids and stuff because we were eating all of this stuff. So parents, now that you're being educated, stop buying your kids all this candy.
Yeah.
You're
And
killing their teeth.
you're absolutely right. And one of the long-term effects that I have heard when in doing my research, and I'm glad that you said that, one of the long-term effects that I have heard is dental health.
Come on.
Like, like other forms of sugar, which has been attributed to decay of the teeth, cavities, um, sores in the mouth. It's important that while you're consuming this high fructose corn syrup, that you do know the health risks associated with it.
Yes.
You should know the health risks associated with it. There's also a health risk of having leaky gut syndrome.
Mm.
And has anybody ever heard of that?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I have.
leaky. Yes, it's where the intestinal barrier of your stomach comes inflamed and it begins to eat away at the barrier of your
Mm.
stomach, and that's what they call leaky gut.
Mm.
See, these are the long-term effects.
Mm-hmm.
So when you another one that I've heard people suffer with is gout.
Oh.
Gout is a long-term effect of you consuming beverages with high fructose corn syrup because it increases the serum uric acid levels.
Teach.
And gout is a form of inflammatory arthritis. And so what that high fructose corn syrup does is it breaks down the good bacteria and the good toxins
Mm,
within your body.
mm,
So you
mm,
have to be really, 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 really mindful and careful about what's going on. Also, another long term effect is obesity. And this brings me to say, when I first originally gave you the definition of high fructose corn syrup, it says it's mainly, and it was emphasized, mainly found in the United States.
mm-hmm,
And the United States have more people that suffer from obesity than any other country. Than any other country. We have high obesity. And the reason why we have high obesity is because it is linked to our diets. The very thing is linked to our diets. It
mm.
Were you going to ask me something, Pastor?
I'm gonna wait. I saw something,
Okay.
but I'm gonna wait till you end. I don't want to. Yep, that's gonna
Okay.
take another way. But I'm gonna write a note to myself.
Okay. And then you have to realize another long-term effect is our medical metabolic system. And this is long-term because it's linked to metabolic syndrome. And it is a cluster of conditions, including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excessive body fat around the waist, abnormal cholesterol levels, which increase heart disease, strokes, and diabetes. So these are the long term effects. And I would not, it would be unfair if I didn't give you all of this negative effects without giving you something positive to leave with. And something positive to leave with is you can turn it around today. You can turn around today. You can start to incorporate water. Try to at least drink 10 glasses of water a day. Water is very important because water flushes your system. Water flushes your system. You can also begin to, when you're going in the supermarket and then you going into the fast food stores, before you grab a quick snack or a quick drink, start reading the label. Start reading the label, because moderation, people, is our friend. That is who is going to be our friend, is moderation. We have to do these things in moderation. And in moderation, we have to start cutting out excessive consumption of this product. Start
Mm.
using natural sugars. Start Googling natural sweeteners. When you see, like, because I know now, my daughter, because like I said begin, that I have a lot of belly fat that I can't get rid of, and she had told me about a product that was on TikTok, and that the product that was on TikTok was really, really good for belly fat, and it was an all natural product. And the product that she told me about was kombucha. Well, when I went and got the kombucha, I've been drinking this kombucha for over a week and did not realize the added sugar in that natural product was fructose corn syrup. And
Ooh,
that was the
ooh,
added sugar.
ooh,
So
ooh.
you have to study, because a lot of products will say natural, and the added sugar is what's not natural about it. You want to be careful with the added sugar. Now, they do have, if people heard me just say about this kombucha, it can be made at home, which is purely natural with no added sugars. It can be added, it can be made at home like that. But the one that I've been buying in the store, that they have been advertising on TikTok, I didn't realize it until I started doing my research for this topic, which is very important, and realized what I was consuming. Yes.
And I love me
Yes.
some kombucha. Um
Mhm.
yeah. So yeah, we gotta make sure we're mindful of even buying that. And I know that's true because there's a certain brand, I think it's the GTS brand, that if you get the GTS brand, it doesn't have the added sugar. I think if you get like the other brands, they do have the
Mhm.
added sugar. I feel like we're gonna, and I'm just speaking in the future, we're gonna do a class just teaching people how to read labels, because I
Yes.
think a lot of you all don't know how to read labels and understand what some of this stuff is that is inside. You know what I'm saying? We just looking at the front and the color and the picture. You see, they put it all there to entice you,
Yep.
you know. And that's why the packaging is like it is, and they don't show you that um this is the fast way to die, unfortunately. uh and I'm sorry, this music here.
But you know what, Pastor? Here's the thing about that. They dress it up in a bottle, but they also give you a warning. But it's your job to read, because they put it on the bottle, they put it on the labeling. It's your job to read. And if you're not reading it and you're not catching it, and you're going on about your day, then
Hmm.
that's what ends up happening. Because even though they dress it up really nice for us, they give us the labeling. They give us the warnings. They give us what's harmful. It's in black and white. All day long, it's in black and white. It's in
Well,
black and white, but we have to educate ourselves. We have to start reading what we're putting into our bodies. We have to start researching what we're putting into our bodies. I'm telling you, those foods that I named, I've been consuming those foods for 44 years until you had me to do this research, which I thank you so much for. I had no idea.
yes,
No idea.
no
No
problem.
idea.
Hmm. But now that you've done this, and I feel like um and you did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job, excellent job. I see now why the Lord asked me to have you do it. um Now that you, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but we're here to learn and grow. What do you feel like now that you've educated yourself, and like you said, you've been doing this for all these years? What are did you see? Are there any alternatives out there? Did you go that far in your research? And if you didn't, it's okay.
Yes, yes, I
Uh,
did. Yes, I
okay,
did. And I mentioned it, and I think I mentioned it when you took a pause off.
okay,
The alternatives to the high toast corn syrup is natural sugars,
gotcha.
natural canes. You
Yes,
want to drink. It says that you want to consume 10 glasses of water.
gotcha. Okay, yes,
If
okay.
you want to sweeten a product, use natural honey.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that maple syrup is good. Some maple syrup, some people sweeten with maple syrup. Try not to sweeten with maple syrup, because some of the maple syrups are not good for you. So
Mm-hmm.
they have natural sweeteners and natural um canes, which is part of sweeteners, that helps you get that
Excuse me.
sweet that you're looking for. But it
Mm-hmm.
just should be all natural.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say all natural, there should be no added sugars. It should be all natural, because a lot of the organic foods and things that we consume have their own natural sugars. They make up their own natural sugars. Even with that kombucha, it makes up, when you really do the fondering period and everything, it
Mm-hmm.
makes up its own natural sugar. So there's no reason for added
Mm-hmm.
sugars, but these companies that's bottling it is doing the added sugars. So the alternatives is look for natural products, all natural products,
Mm-hmm.
and consume 10 glasses of water a day to help flush out the sugars that are clogging your arteries, that are in messing with your eyesight, that is controlling your gut. You want to try to flush that out. help your liver to not overwork itself. Yes.
That's right. Help your liver. And I want to also add on to that that we as a community to wellness, and one of the things I as the leader here want to push is that we got to exercise, and that
Yeah.
exercise can be just you walking. They're now saying that everybody should at least walk 30 minutes a day. I know it's been kind of cold, so you hadn't been able to do that, but it's been warm the last couple of days. I made sure I have gotten myself out on my break, and even when I get home in the evening, and take me a walk. If you
Hmm.
got gym membership, go to your gym and walk 30 minutes. If you got if you got room around your house,
Yeah.
walk for 30 minutes. Do something with your body to build up strength, and allow it to kind of like you whipping it into shape. And there's things you can do at home if you Google them YouTube videos. So she's been right on target. I agree with everything that she said. Some of the stuff, such about my kombucha, I got to make sure I start looking at those myself. Uh, and I don't know why I ain't got froze, but
It's okay. Yeah, you did get froze, but um I do just want to say that exercise is very important as well. And sweet and low is an alternative for natural sugars. Sweet one, sunset. These are just some names of all natural products that are good alternative that does not include the fructose. And to me, the one that I would say that would be the absolute best would be raw honey. Raw honey. It's packed with enzymes, antioxidants, iron, zinc, potassium. It's packed with everything that you need in order for you to be able to live a better and a good lifestyle. And for some of those people that the products that I did name, if you seem like you cannot get away from the products that I did name, then like I said, moderation is your friend. Moderation is your best friend because everything should be done in moderation. So, moderation would be the best friend to you other than the alternative sweeteners. Um, like, I didn't teach on this subject to scare people. I just taught on this subject for awareness because I've always thought to myself, and I've always been a person of, if I did not know and I'm educated on it, now you have the information that I've given you, and now you can take that information and start incorporating it in your everyday life. And it is such a blessing that I was led to do this topic, because during one of our leadership meetings, like I said before, we had to do 5 goals. And I had already incorporated that I wanted to change my diet, I wanted to change my eating habits. And I did list down, I didn't say high fructose corn syrup, but I did list down that I wanted to get away from sugars because I knew, and I've heard numerous of times of how sugar is contributed to cancer. And the people that knows me know that I had a father that passed away from cancer, and any products that are really not natural to me, I avoid using those products. So now that I am made aware with the information in the literature that I had to read in order to prepare myself to come before you all today and give a teaching on corn syrup, it was really just an eye opener for myself to give me that extra boost and give me that extra umph to be able to stay on my diet and incorporate a diet that is going to be a way of healthy living. And now I do have um the information of when I am consuming these products, and when I'm so used to consuming that I can do everything in moderation. You can do everything in moderation. You
Yes, that's
don't
true.
have to be excessive with what you're doing, because excessive eating, excessive consumption is what leads to those long-term illnesses and contributes to those long-term illnesses that I have given you.
Good, good. Can
So
you all hear me?
we can hear you, but we can't see you, Pastor.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's up with the camera, but thank you, woman of God. I'm gonna cut you off right there because I think you gave the heart of what we need to eat on tonight. It's enough to digest. Good to see you, Miss Sunshine. So wonderful job on tonight. Come on, community of wellness. Hit those likes and hit those hearts, and let's help celebrate the gift that God has put inside of Minister Holt on tonight. We thank God for her. We thank God for her teaching and for her obedience, and she did some good research, and that's what we're about. It's about us researching, bringing the information to the community, so that we all can. Uh, so that we all can get ahead, so we all can prosper. I just want to bring a couple things before your attention. If you this is a repeat. If you never heard this before, this is good information. But the Yuka app, if you download it, it's on Google and it's on the App Store. That's what it looks like. It's YUKA. That is a free app that allows you to go. Well, it allows you to download it for free, but you can scan anything that has a barcode, anything that's in a grocery store. Uh, you can scan it and it'll tell you if it's good for you. It'll tell you if it has bioengineered products in it. It'll rate it from like a scale of 0 to 100. So if you just scan it in the store, it'll tell you this ain't good for you. And it also lists some alternatives. That's what I like about the app, Minister Rice, is that it also gives you some alternatives for what you normally would buy that is not harmful to your health. So it's about pausing and just not grabbing what we've been trained to grab and what we're so used to grabbing, so that you can empower yourself. My goal is to empower you, because once I teach you it, then you can go and play it forward to your neighborhood, to your community, help your family out that's dealing with all this type of stuff that's going on in our communities. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just a black thing, it ain't just a white thing. It's a neighborhood thing. It's a community thing, because everybody putting high fructose corn syrup in there. I keep trying to tell you, ain't nobody operating no privileges. We all been abused and we all being manipulated. So should nobody feel like they better than anybody, because we all bought into the same system and it's all killing us. You hear what I'm saying? So uh, do that to help yourself out. Watch this replay if you can. And the last thing I want to tell you is that you got to realize that, and I apologize, you can't see my face. I don't know what's going on with the camera. But listen, you got to realize that everything in the USA, she hinted on that about USA. It's like this in the USA. USA has the best way of helping you die early. Let me put it like that. The USA has the
Mm.
best way, and I'll stand on it with 50 toes down, that the US has the best way to help you die early, because it's about making money, y'all. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all. They sell you all this stuff in the store. Then they write in the store, they put a pharmacy right in there to keep you further paralyzed, to keep you further buying all the sugars and all the salt that you don't need and all the food that is killing you based on your own body makeup. And then you got to pay to go to a doctor. Then you got to get a procedure. You know, when you need a new kidney, you need a new liver, that stuff ain't covered, but it's the same people that got you sick in the first place. That's
Yeah.
what I want you to see. It's all connected. You know what I'm saying? That the pharmacy is connected to the high corn syrup, and the high corn syrup is connected to you going to work and trying to get a policy, and you working and slaving like we doing for these pennies, and then they don't want to give us a good health insurance policy. And then we go into debt, creating bills to get well. If someone had just took the time, thank God for a community wellness. I thank God for a community wellness
Thank
that
you,
we are
Jesus.
taking the time now to educate you. And you got to see how one thing feeds into another thing. That's what Minister Holt wants y'all to see tonight, that it's about you seeing how it all works together, how the hospital, the insurance, the doctors, the dentists, all of it, it all works together.
Yep.
And we got to be okay with understanding that, hey, I can't do that. I can't feed that to my child no more. I can't buy that in my house no more.
Mhm.
And when you do that, your generation will be thankful for it. You'll have less stress. You'll be able to do more. You won't be so tired. You won't be so fatigued. Yeah, it all starts in that good old thing. What they say, the way to a person's soul, way to their heart is by what you put in that kitchen. And we love a whole lot of soul food, but a lot of that soul food, it ain't even good for us, y'all. A
It's our
lot of that
worst enemy.
pizza, a lot of that pizza. Somebody did ask a question about what type of bread should we eat. Right quick, because we're at our time. I think it was Minister Harvey. You want to see if you can buy the sprouted grain bread. Uh, even sourdough bread is good. The Ezekiel bread is good. Whole grain, dark rye, anything that is pretty much minimally processed.
Because there really is no way to absolutely avoid it. That's why I keep saying moderation is going to be your friend. Moderation is going to be your best friend.
And I'm gonna have to correct you, Minister Hope. That's not good teaching, because we have to hold ourselves to a standard that, yes, we don't have to have mayonnaise, we don't have to have ketchup. So we have to teach that the standard in the bar is high, and so everybody has to get up to the standard, because that's God's way. Now, what you said was true. Some people are going to do that. You can do it in moderation, but we don't have to eat things that are harmful to our body.
Well,
No,
all bread has high fructose corn syrup in it.
there's some that doesn't. There's some
Okay.
that doesn't. Yeah, there's some bread that doesn't. Now, that bread is going to be more expensive, but there is some bread out there that that does not have it. And even like Grandma used to do back in the day, is we got to make our own bread. If you make your own bread, then you know what's in it. And the bread that we eat now, I got away from eating sandwiches that, and I know it's a popular thing here in America, but we got to get away from sandwiches. You can use a lettuce wrap. You know what I'm saying? If you don't want to buy the more expensive bread, because unfortunately here in America, it costs more to eat healthy. So that Ezekiel bread is gonna run you about $8-9. You know what I'm saying? That whole grain bread is gonna run you about $7.50 versus the regular bread that does have the fructose corn syrup in it, and that's not healthy for you. So I say, uh, this is new for you. Yes, adjust and do what you can in moderation. But my challenge is for you to stop putting stuff in your body that is actually harming you. That's
Yeah.
holistic wellness. The holistic model is that we come to a place that we say, you know what, I can't do this no more, because
Yeah.
my cancer, my body gonna mess up. My liver is in my kidneys, my heart. You see what I'm saying? It's about that self love, and it's about that self respect that we got to give our bodies. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can do it. I'm doing it. So some days are harder than others, but hey, that's what we gotta face if we're going to live a healthy life and be in holistic wellness. This is holistic wellness. Holistic, WHOLE, aka HOLISTIC. Okay. So I
Right.
know it's new for you. Thank you again, Minister Hope, for doing a great job. Thank you all that logged on tonight. If you're a first time visitor, thank you so much. We appreciate you here. Don't forget this Saturday, we are in person in Louisville, Kentucky. This Friday and Saturday, we are in person. uh, I'm excited about it. I've been on consecration, trying to not trying, hearing from the, making sure I hear from the Lord during this period of time, because I take it seriously when I come before the people of God. And so we're looking forward to doing that. Also on Sunday, March the 31st at 3 p.m. We're celebrating it. We're closing out the celebration in March for 2 years of successful pastoral ministry, 4 years of establishment for community of wellness, 4 years of deliverance and healing that God has given me to even allow the vision to continue to be birthed and to go to the next level. God is with the community of wellness. And because he is with me, you all make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Don't take my kindness for weakness. Make sure you honor me, because the things that I have spoken of your life, the one of the ways that they come to pass is that by you honor and you learn how to celebrate your leader. There's oil on my life. There's an anointing on my life that if you allow it to work for you and you celebrate it and you operate in honor and respect, God is going to open up major doors for you. He's about to open up some major doors for community wellness this year. I would love for you to be a part of it. But if you don't do what God is telling me that you're supposed to do, it may be that you may not be a part of it. I'm just going to be honest with you. I got to do what God is telling me to do in this season. And he wants his ministry to operate in purity. He wants his ministry to operate in holiness. He wants his ministry to operate in righteousness. So if you're a leader here, if you're a disciple here, make sure that you're doing it the way that I'm teaching it. Make sure you're not just listening to me and these things are coming in one ear and going out the other. That is not the will of the Father here. Other churches may allow that, but that's not the type of leader that I am. I hold my leaders to a very high standard, and I'm going to hold the church to it as well, because we're all one body. Amen. So let's make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're doing it the way that God wants it to be done. And I promise you, we're going to get along very well as the next phase. As God told me earlier this week, we are in phase 2 of this ministry. We laid the foundation. Now I'm putting meats on the bone,
Right.
and that's all good. So,
Right.
Minister Holt, if you can close us out in prayer, and we'll meet you all on Friday night at Revival.
All right. Let us all pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I want to say thank you so much, dear God. Thank you so much for the broadcast, dear God. Thank you so much for the words and the knowledge that you have given to me for the teaching of your people, dear God. Dear God, I ask that you please bless us. I ask, dear God, that you keep us, dear God. I ask that you protect us as we separate from this broadcast, dear God. I ask that you give us good rest, dear God. I hope that, dear God, I have planted good knowledge into the brains of your people, dear God. And all these things that I ask in Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Oh, I forgot. If God lays it on your heart to sow that seed, because we still got a budget. Um,
Right.
uh, Good to see you, Deaconess Green. I just got a budget for this weekend. So if you was blessed by tonight, and God lays it on your heart to sow into the ministry to help me meet my budget, so that way I can make sure the service is done in the spirit of excellence, both in Columbus, Ohio, and Louisville, Kentucky. I'm sorry, Cash App, $Cow Live. Um, uh, Zelle, info.cowya@gmail.com. If you want to give on the website, you can at cowlive.org. So we just thank you all for that, what you're going to do. We've already heard the prayer and the benediction. I love you, but God loves you best. Go be great in God. Go show love where you can. I will meet you all in Louisville, Kentucky at 7 p.m. and bring your stomachs, because we're going to feed you real good too. All right. I love you. Good night.
Peace. Good night.
I decree and declare that you will live in the Garden of Eden, that your spirit has overpowered the kingdom of darkness.
that you will fulfill your destiny and walk in it, that you will help grow and expand your community, that, hey, I win when you win. Let's win together. Shout glory.